Back in 2008, space sim gamers exploring the northwestern portion of the X3 universe were greeted with what is one of my most nostalgic memories in a space game. It's up there with that first accidental jump getting lost in Beyond the Frontier or dodging particle weapons in free space too. The Kingdom of Boron welcomes you to Kingdom End.
Entering system, Kingdom End.
I remember vividly following this massive green whale of a living ship through gate after gate before arriving at what would be later known as the Boron homeworld. An aquatic alien empire unique in the X universe as being largely friendly to all the other factions, with the notable exception of being really suspicious of the Split, for good reason, and at war with the Xenon, the terraforming threat that's run amok that was the big bad in X3 and AP. So when Egosoft announced that X4 is getting a new expansion with this teaser, and that song, I jumped up, scared the hell out of Tabby, and yelled, "They're adding boron space!" And then immediately dodged a couch pillow. Obviously, Tabby doesn't understand how cool this is. And for those that have played the first version of the Armco Atlas server, yes, this is where the original name came from. It's one of my favorite areas, mostly because of the music. That's so good. Even the Boron's original tracks from Beyond the Frontier was fantastic. Egosoft says that the Boron expansion named Kingdom End is due out this year. Though no specific date's been dropped as of yet, they're adding a new full set of Boron ships that are keeping in line with their bio-green style, including the space stations. The plot will center around an old jump gate that's beginning to flicker and come to life, causing a stir with the established systems and factions. We'll be joining forces in the name of cooperation with a multi-factional expedition to investigate the phenomena. So what's happened to the Boron after all these years? That's the mystery. One of my biggest early complaints with the release of X4 was the lack of ship diversity, which over the past few years has been greatly expanded upon with each new expansion. But this isn't the biggest feature for me. Coinciding with the release of Kingdom End is the 6.0 update, which will be free to anyone who owns the base game. 6.0 is adding some exciting new features, like being able to dedicate a carrier-led fleet to defend a large area using the new position defense. A new cinematic camera, which I'm thinking most people won't be all that interested in, but for me, I'm pumped to use it for making new X4 stories in the universe. Improvements to the weaker aspects of X4 that are probably the most important additions in all this. The AI, combat and fleet behavior enhancements, trade behavior, boarding and salvaging improvements are all on the docket. Better docking experience, whatever that means. Better flight pathing, which is huge. Better low attention combat simulation, which is something similar to OOS simulation from X3. And changes to the UI and station editor to be a bit more friendly. We don't have full patch notes yet, these are just the highlighted features, but I'm looking forward to seeing what's actually being adjusted here. The biggest note in all that has to be the fleet control and combat changes. It's been a bit of a weak point for X4. And honestly, for the rest of the X series, X3 wasn't much better, and the fleet pathing, which X3 and Albion Prelude were notoriously bad for having fighters just run into your ships. So question for the veterans out there. I'm curious, have you played X4 with the last X Major expansion, and how do you feel about it? I have yet to dive back in, and I'm thinking this is gonna be the expansion that brings me back. Like all X titles, it seems to age like a fine wine. It just takes some time before it becomes that sandbox game that we all expected on release. Let me know in the comments below. I leave you now with the theme of the Boron from Beyond the Frontier. I can't wait to head back to Kingdom End.